Welcome to Fear It Goes, the podcast all about taking your fears with you and doing it anyway. I'm your host, Brandy Taylor. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Fear It Goes. I cannot believe we are all hanging out at home. Never thought I'd see the day when I'd be going stir crazy in my house. These children of mine are beautiful little beings that know how to push every button I have. Isn't that the case, though? We all have people who know how to push our buttons because they know us well. So today, we're not going to really talk about that. Well, maybe we'll talk about that a little bit. But really today, I really want to talk to you about the superhero you have within you. So we've been talking about mental health. We've been talking about physical health. And if you go back over the last few episodes, you're going to find that there are some key tools in what's been told on how to improve your immune system, and especially in times like this. So just a quick little summation of that would be vitamin D, take it every day. Take vitamin C every day. Zinc will also help. Zinc is an amazing boost to your immune system. So zinc is great. Take zinc. These are factors that can absolutely help you in your everyday life. Same thing with collagen, because collagen is gut integrity. It's the lining of your gut. It's built on collagen. And when that's weak, we don't absorb our nutrients the way we need to, and it weakens our immune system. So definitely want to make sure that you're taking collagen. If you can drink it, meaning have bone broth every day, yay for you, because that is absolutely an incredible way to get it in through your food. If not, then honestly, take the powder. Take the pills, but absolutely you should be ingesting that. And if you're over the age of 25, you should be ingesting that because your body doesn't produce it anymore. You're on a decline. Absolutely will benefit you if you're looking at supplements. And also omega-3s. We talked about fats and how fats are absolutely crucial, vital pillars to our health, and how how omega-3s help really keep your body in check and keep the inflammation down. So it makes sure that your system is functioning in the best positive way that it can to really produce a healthy body. When we have too much sixes, when we have too much other fats coming in, we're misaligned. We have an improper balance in our body, and we have more inflammation, and inflammation just causes a plethora of problems to begin with. So absolutely increase your omega-3s. Those are just simple things that you can do right now. I mean, right now I'm also making sure that I have some curcumin in our system, me and the kids. Also, because those are phytonutrients, also taking things like moringa, because it's phytonutrient, and its nutrient compounds are so rich and will absolutely help feed a very healthy gut flora and also help feed your immune system. So there's certain things that I'm absolutely taking to help mitigate and make sure that I am on track for a very healthy months to come, that I'm on a very healthy track, and that I am healthy throughout this pandemic and any things coming forward. This is not the last time we're going to see some major health crisis come through. That's going to be global. We are a global community now. We travel all the time. People are always interconnected. We are no longer stationary to our own countries or our own cities or our own towns. So this will just become more and more prevalent, and it becomes more and more important for you to really get a good handle on your immune system as these epidemics, pandemics, as these major illnesses come through that we don't have control over. Absolutely time to insulate and strengthen your immune system. Now, that said, today I want to talk to you about the superhero within you. We all have this superhero, and it's funny because I thought I wrote this somewhere. I thought I did. I thought it was in a blog post, but I can't seem to find it. So you're getting it. You're getting it today. And this is the things that I've learned from superheroes. So as some of you may know, I have a little fixation with Marvels. I love them. I love the superhero journey. I love the superhero story. Because the superhero journey starts off with denial. It starts off like every one of us. We're like, I don't want to do that. That's hard. It starts off with resistance. We're like, I could never be that. You could maybe, but I can't. Because we're stuck in a mindset. Right? And then they get to this point where it keeps pushing them in a direction. Something does. It keeps pushing them in a direction, or they're thrust upon this challenge. And they mess up and they stumble along the way. They feel the challenge is way too great and they're afraid of that kind of power. But that's the thing. And that's something that's really exciting. It's this incredible power within us that we all contain. So my absolute favorite quote of all times is by Marianne Williamson. And one of the lines in there is, we are not afraid of the darkness. We are afraid of our own light. We are afraid of this power that is so immense, it's immeasurable. And I cannot help but think of the superhero. They're afraid of their own light. They're afraid of their own power and what will become of them when they step into this role. Hello, Spider-Man, and thank you, Stan Lee. With great power comes a great responsibility, and we feel that responsibility is to everyone else. But really, the greatest responsibility is to us. Us, to grow into these magnificent superheroes. These magnificent heroes that are so full of their own power that it spreads to everyone around them because they can't help it. It's just who they are. It's their nature. That is you. That's you at every turn of the way. Every opportunity that shows up, we choose. Sometimes we look at it and we see the risk and we say, is this risk worth taking? And I look at the situation and I assess the risk. Is this risk too great to take? We do this all the time. So when I was in finance, of course, we were assessing the actual investment. Is it worth taking? Is this too risky? Am I comfortable with that risk? Do I have enough information to take that risk? Right? There's the other side of it. We often forget this. What is the risk in not taking action? What is the risk in not stepping up? Years ago, when I sat with my very first mindset coach, and really, we worked, oh man, I was a challenge. I was a piece of work at that time. I was a challenge. I give it up to him. But the very first mindset coach I had, I brushed him off at the end of the meeting. And this was like the introductory meeting. And I was like, yeah. I'm already seeing a coach. She's a business coach. I don't need you. What do I need you for, right? This is what's going on in my own head. And why would I spend money with you? And I don't want to spend the money. And this is really what was going on. And I thought, I don't have the money to spend. And then he says to me, okay, that's cool. If you want to go, that's fine. But I have one question for you. If you leave here today and change nothing, so life continues on the way it is, what will life look like in a year, 5 years, 10? And literally, it hit me like a brick wall. I panicked and started crying because I realized the risk of not taking action. By not taking action, not only was I not stepping into who I am or who I've become today or who I will be tomorrow, and the more and more power and the more and more good I can do out in the world. Oh no, I wasn't even thinking that. I was just thinking about the day-to-day life I was living at the time and where I was headed if I didn't take action. But I hadn't thought of it because all I was looking at was the cost. Well, I don't want to spend this money. All I was looking at was the assessment I'd originally made. I didn't look at the bigger picture, which was the risk of not taking action. See, the superhero in us requires us to step up for ourselves And it's scary. It's so scary. It means we got to do work. It means we're responsible for ourselves. It means we're responsible for the actions that we take and don't take. So if I choose as this superhero to watch you suffering, being mugged, being attacked, being whatever, and I'm a superhero and I have the ability to do something, but I choose not to. I choose no action. Who's losing here? You are and I am. Because I feel guilty, I feel shameful, I feel all these anchoring emotions that keep me tied up in my weakness. This is why I thought it was so important to talk about this today. Because right now, we have a lot of circumstances around us that we can't control. Right? I can't control the fact that I'm in my house with my boys, and they're sweet and amazing little people, and we've had some incredible conversations and done some really cool things over this time of being stuck in our house. It's cold outside. It's been like -20. Oh, flippin' April. How is that even possible? But whatever. We've also had really trying moments. I can't leave the house the way I would have before. I can't see the people I would have before. I can't put the kids into positions that expose them to potential risk, or myself or other people should we have something. Right? None of us want to do this. All of us are, hopefully, really aware of how serious this pandemic is and what we can do to be superheroes to everyone else and ourselves and how we can protect each other. But I'm also looking at the other side of things. How can we stay upbeat? How can we pivot our business? How can we transcend from the things we can't control and really look at what we can do? We have choice in everything. We may not have a choice in some of the things that this river of life puts in our path, but we have a choice in how we respond to it and what we do with it. We absolutely have that choice. So with my beautiful little boys who've poked buttons, yesterday was a prime example. Okay, so we had a day that kind of went sideways and we didn't get the things done that we wanted to get done, and I got frustrated. And we had planned out workout time, and I didn't work out with them, and I'd put my workout off to do it with them because we were stuck in the house. So I didn't get my workout in. And let me tell you, pent-up energy sometimes can be utilized really, really well if we know how to move it around. However, yesterday was not that case, and I hadn't moved it around, and instead I was really frustrated, and I felt it building up inside of me and the frustration building up inside. So I kind of got a little bit upset with the kids, had my little temper tantrum, but not terrible, but enough that it's not something that I want to be doing with them. So I did some baking. I know this sounds crazy, but baking, cooking, for some reason, the kitchen for me is one of my places of processing. So driving for me is processing. I often process a lot of new ideas I create in my car, which is so weird. A lot of people are like this too, actually. But I also do this in my kitchen, and obviously I do this in meditation. So I have moments that are what I consider active meditation, cooking and driving, and anything that's a menial job that doesn't require a lot of thought for me, because it allows me the space to really move through big ideas. Whether that's a pattern I'm releasing, which was part of yesterday, or whether that's creating something new, or whether that's dealing with something in the moment, like being frustrated with the kids, right? So yesterday, I ended up doing some cooking and then baking, and we sat down and I said, look, I'm really sorry. I had my little temper tantrum. I recognized what I did, and it wasn't about you guys. It was just about me. And these are things that I need. I have to work out. I have to move this body because energy needs to flow. And I know that, and they know that, and we all know that, because your kids get rangy when they sit too long and they haven't moved. They start to get kind of crazy in their own headspace, and they get really loud, or a lot of times it's just they need to move their bodies. That energy needs to flow. So we had an opportunity to really shift some things yesterday. I got to use one of my superpowers, which for me, finding tools and ways to process has become one of my biggest superpowers. I can look at a situation, mine or someone else's. More often, someone else's is much easier because I'm not emotionally attached until I remove my emotional attachment, right? It's always easier with someone else. But I can spot someone's in a minute. I can tell you exactly what's going on. I can tell you how to process it. I can tell you how to move through in the most productive ways for you. And I can teach you so that you learn how to do this on your own. That's pretty amazing. I think that's a superpower. Now, my question is, what is yours? We all have these incredible superpowers within us. These things that we can do that better ourselves, better other people, and really help ourselves and others evolve. It's this intuitive, innate part of our being that wants out. It wants out. It wants to show the world. It wants to offer the world its greatness. For some, you might be teachers. You might be guides. You might be healers. For others, you may be so spectacular with your hands, and maybe you're a woodworker, and your beautiful ability is to create something stunning in the world for us to all take to heart. What would we be right now if we didn't have art, music, games, movies even? We're all inside, and what are we doing? We're consuming things like this, things that other people have created. Thank God for the superhero within each one of these beautiful people that have stepped up into their hero. So I wonder, what's holding you back from your superhero? Are you stepping into? This is such an incredible time to really step into your hero, to change careers, to start that course you wanted to take, to do something that's going to educate you and evolve you and bring you to your next level and your next level and your next level. We have this time. This is such a gift. Are you taking advantage of the gift? Because it's really easy for us to choose the lesser. It's easy. The superhero journey is never the easiest one, but it's definitely the most rewarding. And it takes you to levels within yourself and out in the world you never dreamed possible. Ever, ever, ever. If you had asked me when I walked into that first coach's, well, I say first coach because really it was my first personal one-on-one mindset coach and true mindset, not just a little but deep. If you had asked me then if I would be a podcaster, if I would coach people, if I would be their guide and their teacher, and I would be transforming lives, I would have looked at you like you had four heads. I never thought that was in me to lead people. I never thought I'd get on a stage and speak to hundreds of people at a time. I never thought I'd get standing ovations. I never thought I would become this person. I never thought I'd be a published author. Never. But here I am, and I'm not done. Oh, no. There are many, many more levels for me to go, and I can't wait to share every single one of them with every single one of you. And I can't wait to see your journey flourish. So in the superhero journey, where are you? Are you at the beginning? When this is still the denial part? This is still the spot that has you questioning what you're able to do? Are you still resisting? Are you afraid of messing up? It's so often I am drawn back into what creates success. When I look at business coaching, people ask me all the time, so what kind of coach are you? I'm like, oh, that's a good question. Because I think that we come from a space of wholeness. And so I look at everything in your life. I will never look at one area, ever, ever. I'm a life coach, but I'm a health coach because I'm deeply aware, obviously, of the things that happen from a physical level. I look at autophagy, which is anti-aging. I look at the gut biome and the microbiome, which again is your immune system and your health and your weight. And I look at all of those factors. I look at you from a mental space, because this is often what creates all the mayhem in our body. And then I look at your business and what's going on there and why you're stuck. I said the craziest thing to my kids today. We're talking this morning about healthy relationships. And I said, this is the sign of a healthy relationship. When you look at that relationship and there are things you're both gaining that help you grow. So I'm dating someone that is wonderful. He's very kind, like to a level I don't fully comprehend, really. I've never experienced a kindness like this person has. Nor have I experienced a patience that this person has. So these are two attributes within him that blow my mind. And they remind me of the levels to which I can reach. And they push me without him doing anything. It's just him being him. He just is who he is. He doesn't push anything on me, doesn't try and impose anything on me, nothing. He just is him being him. And I see that, recognize that, and work towards the things I want to see more in myself. So I'm more patient with my kids. I tend to have much better, deeper conversations with them. Not necessarily because of this person, but it's an awareness. It's an awareness. I know that I want to always be my best self, my superhero, the one that brings so much to the world. And I can't do that if I'm playing in these spaces that are little. And I can't do that if I'm playing in these spaces that are habit. So we're talking about these people that bring out the greatness in us. And then the relationships that bring out the worst in us. Because the relationship is stalled, stagnant, stuck. And sometimes that stuck is in a relationship. Sometimes it's in a job. Maybe I've gotten to a point in my job where I've done everything I can to advance, to grow, to bring the most value to that job. And there's nothing left there now. There's no new avenue I can take within that role, within that position, or that company. Because it's stuck. It's done. So now it's time to move on. And this is the hardest part for a lot of people, is to take that step. It's scary. But I'm so comfortable here. I'm so comfortable in this relationship, even though I know it's not bringing me the best. It's not bringing the best out of me. And not that I'm saying, because I'm not, that it is someone else's responsibility to make you a better person, because it's not, it's yours, right? I recognize these things in the person that I'm dating, and I want to aspire. Actually, I don't really want to say aspire, but sort of. It's me evolving. I want to be that at the highest level. So I work towards it because I recognize it. But I could choose the other side too and just say, that's really great. They're nice. They're patient. That's great. And just follow my old patterns. Or I could step up. I could be my own superhero in my life and the lives of others. So I asked you, which area do you feel you're at with your superhero journey? Because all of us have that superhero within us. Every single one of us has this immense power. Immense power. It is comparable to none. There is nothing like it you will ever know when you touch it. It gives me shivers as I'm even saying this, because I know it. When you experience yourself, the deep, authentic, true self that you are, the one that you say yes to that scares you because you're big, that superhero, you can't help but fall madly in love with yourself and your life, no matter what is happening, no matter what things life is throwing at you, including this imposed, well, I can't really say imposed, it is, but it's not. We're choosing to isolate because we are respecting the fact that we could get sick and others can get sick, right? We're trying to help make sure that our populace and our communities stay safe. This isn't an easy one for me. I don't know about you, but I'm guessing you're in the same boat. It's not an easy one. So I choose oars. I choose a boat that takes me down this river and that I can choose the direction. So when I come to rapids, when I come to the tree that's fallen in this river, when I come to those rocks, I can navigate it in a way that works for me. Because I really love and value people. I really love and value growth. I now see it as a lifelong, never-ending movement towards our true evolution. Life isn't here to throw you around. You're meant to have a boat. You're meant to have oars. And if you feel like life is happening to you, you don't have a boat. You don't have oars. You're just floating down the river being thrown around. We all need guides. I don't know what I would have done without that first coach. I really don't. I would have stayed on that path. That trajectory was misery for me. I didn't recognize it until he made that statement. So I ask you today, if you choose no action, you choose not to honor your superhero, you choose to not assess the risk of not taking action in your life, what will life look like in a year, 5 years, or 10? Will you be able to look back on it and say, damn, am I ever proud of that? I have absolutely no regrets. It was messy. I made some colossal, what I believed were mistakes, but look where they've gotten me. So not such big mistakes, right? I look at Einstein and I look at some of the greatest minds of our times, and Thomas Edison, who was not him and Tesla were not very good friends, both brilliant, but who ever fails 10,000 times? The person that doesn't believe it's failure. The person that sees it as an opportunity to grow, learn, and evolve and find the ultimate outcome. Because really, that's all we're doing. We have life taking us down a course. This is the truth of our lives. Life takes you down a course. You assess it, not judge it, no emotions in it, just assess it. Determine what needs to be done, take action. That action may give you an outcome you like or not like. That's irrelevant. It gives you an outcome. If you don't like it, tweak the action to get a different outcome. Simple. These are simple concepts, right? Not so simple in practice, because we have all those wonderful underlying emotions and thought patterns and programs, belief systems in place that we are carrying forth, which create our actions. I talk to the kids so often about programming and how you're programmed when you're little. All your programs are in place from the time you're 0 to 7, actually from the time you're 6 months in womb to 7. And then after that, all your brain does. This is it. It's simple. I'm going to simplify this in the biggest ways. Programming up until 7. After that, your brain looks for patterns. Your brain's a problem solver and it looks for patterns and it looks for ways to prove or confirm its programming. That's it. So if I see my parents fighting about money, I use money a lot because this seems to be a lot of people's issues. So if I see my parents fighting about money, I will always seek out that same outcome. I will seek out the proof for that belief system. So there will be reasons to fight about money. I will say things that will create situations that will fight about money or that will make money difficult or hard or lacking, because that's what my belief system and my original program is. That's it. We are incredible beings, but we can really simplify things. belief systems create your actions. And if your actions are not getting you what you want, if they're not guiding you, it just means that your program needs resetting. That's it. Your superhero wants to come out. Your superhero often gets stuck underneath the belief systems, holding it down. It's being held by kryptonite. Your belief systems can be your kryptonite, or they can be your fuel to let you fly. I encourage you to take action today. Take action in some way that drives you forward. If you got a belief system that's stuck, change it. If you need help with that, contact me. Contact a coach. If I'm not your coach, I'm not your guide, then find one that is. But I would hope that you take action. Know that you have this immense power to be bigger, better, stronger, wiser, so much more than we often give ourselves credit. Take an assessment. Take a few minutes to really look at what you want. I think next week we might talk about some NLP. Neuro-linguistic programming is our ability to change the programs we have within. If I keep doing the same thing, I get the same results. That's insanity. All right, beautiful peeps. That today concludes our discussion around superheroes and the superhero in you. Take a look at the notes below. If you need some help, I have programs. All of this stuff can be done online. I am still taking one-on-one clients, but very, very few because I can only manage a few more. I get to help you on levels I can't do in a group call. However, I will say this. The last coach I had, I did most of my stuff online with a little bit of group coaching and had some of the biggest transformations because I was ready and I was willing to do the work. And I was willing to say yes to me. Are you willing to say yes to you? Are you willing to put your oxygen mask on you first? Because without it, there is no you. Beautiful peeps. I am signing out from my bedroom at home so that I can have this quiet time with you and no little people. Until next week, beautiful souls, put those oars in the river. Have an absolutely extraordinary week.